Hey guys, decided I was going to cook a jambalaya tonight. It's kind of cooling off again. It had gotten warm for a few days and everything, but it's kind of getting chilly again, so it just sounded good tonight. So I'll kind of walk you through the steps and we'll see how this damn thing turns out. So we're going to cut up some onion, throw the Holy Trinity in there. Normally I wouldn't walk through every single step of cutting up all the vegetables and the meat and everything, but I really have nothing better to do tonight. So. And if you're sitting here watching me, then I guess you probably have nothing better to do tonight either. I don't worry about getting the onion chopped up too small. I like big chunks of onion in my stuff. It's all gonna cook down anyway. Hopefully you're not as messy as I am when you cook. I guess it doesn't really matter. There's that onion, that in there, the green pepper. Y'all, get out of that fucker. Y'all. Get all them seeds out of there. Everybody's kind of got their own way of doing this. You do it how you like, I'll do it how I like. What do you think about that? And I'm going to do it like this because I like this knife better. Take them over and rinse them off, get all the seeds off of them. I don't like seeds in my food. I like seafood. I like seafood, not seeds in my food. Now hopefully I don't chop a finger or hand off while I'm doing this live tonight. That'd be great. And again, just like the onion, I don't mind big chunks of peppers and stuff in mine, but do it however you like. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, you gotta do it this way. That pisses me off when people get into a recipe or something. They're like, well, the recipe says I have to do it this way, so screw that. You're cooking for you, not for them, right? I mean, unless you are cooking for them, then I guess you want to do it the way they want. Then it's not really your food, is it? Then it's their food. There's that green onion. For the final step in that Holy Trinity, the celery. You got your onion, your bell pepper, and your celery. It's kind of a staple. staple in Cajun food. And I'm sure you'll notice by me not having that Cajun accent, no, I'm not from Louisiana, just for the record. I'm an Illinois boy, but I'm kind of a misplaced Cajun, I guess you could say. Alright, there's that celery. You can cut it up smaller if you'd like. I kind of like the bigger chunks. There's your holy trinity right there. Now I'm going to add a little bit to it, because like I said, you do it the way you want to do it. I'm going to add a little bit of cilantro, because I love cilantro. Cilantro. This might be a little better for this. My plan for tonight was making catfish courtbouillon, but I decided against that. I decided to go with jambalaya. That way I can take it to work all week for lunches. But courtbouillon would be a little bit harder to save for several days. And I'll throw some champignons in there as well. If I can get the damn things open. Dangerous with that knife. One for my mouth. Gotta make sure they're good. It's a bad thing about putting champignons in any kind of food is I usually end up eating as many as I cut and put in the food. So, one for me, one for the food. Two for me, and a half of one for the food. Throw a few of them in there, just add a little extra flavor. I love mushrooms, man. Put in everything. And again, this may not be the way you like to make jambalaya, and that's fine. You make it the way you like, I'll make it the way I like. And you know what? We can still like each other at the end of the day. It's all right. Rinse this cutting board off a little bit. Alright, got my andouille sausage. Get him out of the way, get out of here. Got about a pound of andouille I'm gonna throw in there. I think it's just a hair over a pound. But again, I better try that just to make sure it's good. Yep, good. some boudin. Yeah, I'll be throwing that in there. But I had some deer meat I was going to throw in here, but I forgot to take it out of the freezer and thaw it out. So no deer meat in this. No deer meat in this jambalaya, which kind of pains me, but that's all right. Throw our pork in here. Cube up this pork. Use pork loin, pork roast, whatever you want. This is kind of like a loin roast. Do not cut the fat off of there either. Yeah. Don't cut the fat off. A lot of people think fat is bad. Fat is good. That's where the flavor comes from. Ooh, doggy, that's cold. Cold in my hands. Nothing else going on a Sunday night. Went to the bowling alley tonight for my son's last regular last regular game of his season. And he did well. He did really well. I was proud of him. He got a new ball. So this was his first time using his new ball, and it proved to do well for him. So. Probably should have run my knife across the sharpener before I started. I usually keep this knife razor sharp, and I just completely forgot to run it across the sharpener. A sharp knife is super important. We like to do all kinds of different foods. We like, our main thing's barbecue, but probably my favorite food to eat, and kind of one of my favorites to cook is Cajun. So we cook a lot of Cajun food and stuff. So depending on how these turn out, these videos, we'll plan on doing a lot more. And as summer gets here, it'll be nicer to be outside and do some stuff on the smoker and on the pit and all that kind of stuff. But we're inside tonight. It got cold on us again. We had a hell of a thunderstorm roll through yesterday. It was like 65-mile-an-hour winds, and it was blowing directly at the front of the house. It was crazy. The power went out for just a little bit, for a short time, which is kind of funny because I work for the power company. It was in the 70s here, middle of the week, and then the last 2 nights, I've got a fire in the fireplace again. It's been kind of chilly. I think it's about 40 degrees tonight, mid 40s. It's chilly again. I thought it'd be a good evening good night for some jambalaya. All right, I'll wash this cutting board off real quick. So we got our pork cut up. We got the sausage, the andouille sausage cut up. There's that. Coming from behind with that yard pimp. Because I hate messing with chicken because shit gets everywhere. It gets all over you. I always wear a glove when I cut up chicken. It's freaking nasty. It's slimy. You can't get it off of you. If I can get this glove on, I should drive my hand off a little better. So, we got our yard pimp thighs here. Just cube that up as well. Cut it up small enough to where it'll cook down. This is boneless, skinless yard pimp thighs. Chicken thighs. Chicken. Got the chicken. Like I said, normally I wouldn't just sit and do this whole thing on camera live. So if I'm boring you to death, I do apologize. But I had nothing better to do tonight. And if you have nothing better to do tonight, well then it works out perfect. We can drink beer, make some jambalaya, and chit chat. Again, that's boneless, skinless chicken thighs. The thigh is my favorite part of the chicken. It's just, in my opinion, that's the best tasting meat out of the whole thing. I'm not a fan of chicken breasts just because they're so dry, and I mean, if you don't cook them just right, thighs are a little more forgiving when you cook them, and they taste better. All right, chicken's all cut up. So we got our sausage, our pork, our chicken, our Holy Trinity, and our mushrooms and cilantro. Some garlic we're gonna put in there with that. I'm just gonna put this I got a whole jar of garlic. I'm just gonna dump it right in there with that Holy Trinity. You can never have too much garlic. If you're not eating cloves of garlic just straight, and you're missing out. So that's good stuff. Alright. We got all that. Throw that away. Oh, y'all. Okay, so we got that, and that. Let's move over here to the stove. Wow. Look at that, you're flying. Alright. Stand up, bastard. Stand up. Alright. Normally I would do this outside, like on my camp chef or on my smoker or something. But we're inside tonight, so that's the way it is. me a little drinky drink. So we're gonna let this Dutch oven get hot, and we're gonna throw that sausage, that andouille sausage, in there. Kind of brown it up just a little bit, and that'll get some grease in the bottom of that skillet or Dutch oven, whatever the hell you want to call it. You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. You know what I say, you know what I'm saying. I'll bend down here so you can see me. That's kind of scary. So yeah, as soon as this gets hot, yeah, it's getting there. We'll throw this andouille sausage in, brown it up a little bit. What's the weather like where you're at? Huh? Yeah, it's starting to get warm there now. So we'll get this, we'll go ahead and throw this in. You hear that sizzle. Hi-yah. Hi-yah. I'm gonna let that cook in there for a little bit. I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or so. Just to start browning it, get some of that grease to start coming out of it. Get a little grease in that skillet. Why the hell do I keep calling it a skillet for a Dutch oven? So we'll get this starting to brown. Get a little bit of grease in the bottom of that skillet, the Dutch oven, and then we'll throw that the vegetables, the Holy Trinity, and all that in there. And kind of cook that down some. This is a good meal to make when you're out camping too. You know, because it's a one-pot deal. You take your Dutch oven and everything's made in one pot, so you've only got one pot to clean at the end of the night. It's a good hearty meal. It's filling, tastes good. Full of rice, so it fills you up. Then you can drink more beer, which is always a good thing. Yeah, you can hear that sizzle. We got her on high. We're going to cook all this stuff on high until we get a little further through the process, and then I'll show you when we're going to drop that down to low and let her simmer. But that's after you get the rice in there. See if I can show you that. Look at that. Look at that sausage. Stop looking at my sausage. Yeah. Got that andouille in there, cooking up nice. That's some good stuff right there, man. A little bit of grease in the bottom there now from that sausage. I'll be right back. My fire's going out in the fireplace. All right, problem solved. Once I get this sausage nice and browned up, I'll pull it back out of here, and then we'll use that grease that's left in there to cook the vegetables and stuff. Cook them down, sweat them down a little bit. Sweat me down. Now I choose to use andouille sausage. Use whatever kind you like. Like I said, if I would have had some boudin, I would throw that in here. And as far as the meats, I'm putting pork, chicken, and andouille in here. But you can put whatever you like. Sometimes I'll throw shrimp in here or crawfish tails. Put pretty much anything you like in it. Do it up the way you want. It seems like no matter what I put in it, as far as if I'm going like a seafood style or more of a poultry or something like that, I'll always put andouille in it or boudin, or both. So that's the best thing about cooking, man. You can do anything. You can do it the way you like to do it, and it's not wrong. If you're following a recipe, you're following somebody else's recipe, then it's not your cooking, right? I mean, you're still doing it, but that's part of the fun of cooking is finding new flavors and new things to put in stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this sausage out of here. Spurtle wasn't working too well for dipping my sausage out. If you're going to use cast iron, use wood utensils. Man, it pains me to see somebody cooking with cast iron and they got like a metal spatula or a spoon or something they're scraping around. I just want to say, take care of your shit, man. Alright, so we got all that. We're going to throw this. Throw that Trinity in there. Got garlic, mushroom. We're going to sweat this down for 10 or 15 minutes. Caught that. So we're going to cook these vegetables down. They'll start getting soft. And then we'll throw in our chicken and our pork. Cook that down a little bit. And we'll throw our sausage back in. What kind of beer you guys like to drink? That's in the conversation. I mean, it is really because it's all part of cooking. It's like the Harley riders, they say that it's not the destination, it's the journey or whatever the hell they say. It's kind of the same way with cooking, man. As much as I love eating, I love the cooking part of it. And sometimes I'm sad when it comes to an end, yeah, I'm happy I get to eat it, but man, it's so much fun cooking. like I said, once the summer gets here, we'll go outside and we'll do stuff on the smoker or on the pit and on the Camp Chef 2-burner and stuff like that. We like to do barbecue cook-offs and feed the neighbors, which is always fun. I've got some of the coolest neighbors ever. We're always like bringing food back and forth because they like to cook too, which makes it freaking awesome. So I'll take stuff to them, they'll bring stuff over to me. Hell yeah. We live out in the country, but we have one neighbor. One close neighbor. Then we have more neighbors down the road, but that's like 2 miles down the road. You want to make sure you keep stirring this. Just, you don't want your vegetables, especially that garlic, if you're putting a bunch of garlic in it, you especially don't want that to stick to the bottom of the pan and scorch and burn, and then your whole meal tastes like shit, and that's not good. Bring it in here. Bring it in, bring it in. Hi, y'all. You see that? Yeah. That's all them peppers and onions and mushrooms and garlic all sweating down in that sausage grease. That's a good time right there. Yeah. And when you start this and you got just that tiny little bit of grease in there from the sausage, and you're gonna think like, man, there is no liquid in here. But it's amazing how this, like the celery and the onions and everything, as they cook, they release a bunch of liquid, and it gets a little bit soupy. As far as how long to cook this, you just kind of got to judge as to how the stuff looks and how it's coming along, getting soft and stuff. I'm gonna say 10 to 15 minutes, but don't go back and time me on that because it's never the same. Again, it just depends on what kind of, what vegetables and stuff you're putting in here, what ingredients. That's a fancy word for me, ingredients. Usually, like when I'm cooking here at home just for myself, I'll be like, just put some of this shit in it and some of that other stuff. That's not the best way to write a cookbook, though. It's looking really good. I'll give it a couple more minutes and then we'll throw that chicken in there. We'll throw the pork in, season it up, and let that cook for about 15 or 20 minutes. Smells amazing. Can you smell it? Yeah. So can you smell what the stick is cooking? I am the Sticks from Sticks and Ashes Barbecue. In case you didn't know that. You probably figured that unless I hijacked the channel or something like that. But it's looking pretty good. I'm still new to this, so bear with me. if you're just joining in, we're cooking a jambalaya tonight. So we got that pork. Yeah. Get all that in there. Got that yard pimp. Chicken. Get that down in there. That's cooking a little bit. And now we get to go to town with our seasoning. Now, a little bit of garlic powder. That's a little bit to me. A little bit of parsley. So I don't even know if that's coming out. Sometimes you just gotta open it up. That's probably enough for 18 batches. This right here, I'm almost out. This is kind of scary, but this is a good friend of mine, old Sterling Smith, and Luton Booty Barbecue, everything rub. I put this in everything that I cook, like literally everything. And that's probably gonna be the last of it right there. I gotta get some more. Smitty, I need some more. Yeah, go check out Luton Booty, and all of his stuff is awesome. And then you got your Cajun seasoning, best Cajun seasoning there is right there, the old Cajun two-step, little stale cracker. He said, "That's money, dude." We'll open this up to the wide side. I like to use a lot of that. It looks like a lot of seasoning, but there's a lot of meat, a lot of vegetables in there. I'll probably even add a little bit more after a while. But I like a lot of seasoning in my food. If you don't, then do it the way you do it. You know. So now we got that in there. You see, we're gonna let that cook down. That's that chicken and that pork and all the vegetables. We'll just let that cook down here for probably about 10 minutes or so. And then we'll throw the, oh, hey, this is going crazy on me. Then we'll throw that sausage back in there also. So just a little dab of this kitchen bouquet. It's like a browning seasoning. I remember my mom using that when I was a kid. I hadn't used it for years, and then I started cooking some of this kind of stuff, especially the Cajun food. I like to put it in there. It gives it some color and a little bit of extra flavor. It's good stuff. See, this is it right here. The kitchen bouquet, browning and seasoning sauce for gravies, sauces, soups, and stews. Yeah. And it doesn't take a whole lot of that. How much? About that much. That's pretty much how I measure stuff when I'm cooking. Man, I really wish I would have thought out that deer sausage thing, but that's all right. It smells good. You'll see after I put that kitchen bouquet in there, and that just sexy as socks on a rooster right there. Hell yeah. So like I said, we're gonna let that cook down. Got another 10 or 12 minutes. We'll throw that andouille sausage back in there. Man, I hate that I'm out of that everything rub. But this stuff literally is good on everything. You know, I don't get paid to promote this or anything. It's just that Smitty's a friend of mine, and it's really, really good stuff. I put it on like every meat that I cook. It's good on popcorn. It's freaking phenomenal on popcorn. Vegetables, everything. And that stuff is just good. He told me that when he made it, he was kind of going for the flavor of like barbecue potato chips, like the seasoning that they use on that. And he knocked it out of the park with that. Man. It's freaking good. It gives you that kind of traditional, barbecue flavor, and it's not hot and spicy or anything like that. It's just awesome. And he's got a whole line of different stuff. Like, this is another one right here, the Gold Star chicken rub. Matter of fact, I'll just throw a little bit of that in because we did put chicken in here. I do that from time to time. I just start adding stuff when I'm cooking. And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, do it the way you like, and then it'll turn out the way you like. You don't want to turn out somebody else's. I'm just letting that chicken and pork cook. You don't want raw chicken. I mean, honestly, you don't want raw pork either. So make sure that gets cooked down good. Flavors the vegetables, and the vegetables flavor the meat, and the seasonings flavor everything. And it smells so damn good in this house right now. A lot of times as I let stuff cook, I can kind of tell by the smell of it whether or not it's got enough seasonings or whatnot. So a lot of times I'll add as I'm cooking because I kind of go by smell. It's kind of a weird sense, but whatever works for you. And my fireplace just does not want to burn tonight. I don't know what the deal is, but it's all about not burning it. I'm going to show you guys and gals. I pulled some of this meat to the side and stuff. You can see as that cooks, you end up getting quite a bit of juice and stuff in there. So ends up to be a lot of liquid in that pot. Me and the stand are going to go rounds if it doesn't start behaving. I don't know what that was. That was weird. I'll be right back. I'm going to go check and see what the heck that is. Must have been the wind in the chimney. It was weird. It sounded like somebody walking across the porch. So, this has been cooking pretty good now. I'm going to go ahead and throw the sausage back in here. This jambalaya. Jambalaya. Now on that sausage, if you want to, I always just cut it into little rounds like that. You can cut those in half into half moons. And make your sausage go further. Ooh, look at that. That looks good. We're gonna let that cook for probably about another 5 minutes or so. Gonna throw a little Liam Perron in there. For what I'm doing, we're probably gonna use half of this bottle. Liam Perron Worcestershire sauce. Is it Worcestershire? Is it Worcestershire? Is it Worcestershire? What is it? Nobody knows. We call it the W sauce, that's why. It's just the W sauce, man. Throw a little W in it. Nobody knows what the hell the actual pronunciation of it is. Nobody. I say nobody. Even Liam Perron. They don't know. Okay, so we're gonna let that sausage cook in there with all that chicken and that pork and those vegetables. Let all the flavors kind of meld together. And then, here in about 5 minutes, throwing a little soup in there. A little cream of mushroom, a cream of celery. Kind of thickens it up a little bit, adds extra flavor. Man, it smells good. It smells good. Like garlic, and meat, and sausage, and onions, and peppers. Throw just a little bit more two-step in it. And my son just woke up. Hang on, buddy. I'm gonna let that cook out just a couple more minutes here. You need some juice, bud? Some juice? Want some juice? That's my main man right there. He's the boss. And I say that jokingly. He does not run the house. But that's my main man. Along with my other children. But he's the only one home right now. Alright, we're going to throw the soup in there. We got the cream of mushroom. talk about adding some flavor and some thickness. This right here. So that's the cream of mushroom, and then cream of celery. Which just goes well with what we've already got in there. We've already got celery, we've already got mushrooms, champignons. Alright, I'm going to stir that in here. Make sure this stuff doesn't stick. That's the main thing, man. You want to make sure you keep stirring this pot here. Kind of like at work, we like to stir the pot, you know what I mean? See some crazy shit going on, you just stir the pot. As soon as I get this stirred in here, I'm going to show you what this looks like now. Yeah. Alright, now look at this. Get in here. Get in there. You see that? Now it looks like a big old bowl of gravy with meat and vegetables. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. It ain't hell to the gnaw, it's hell to the yah. So we're gonna let that cook down for probably about 5 minutes. And then I'm gonna throw some, you can use water. I like to use chicken broth, just to give it a little bit, ooh, excuse me, a little bit more flavor. We're going to throw that chicken broth in there, and we'll bring that to a boil, and then that's when the rice comes in. And what is the main part of jambalaya? The rice. That's where everybody screws it up. If you don't get the rice right, then you might as well just throw this shit out, because that's why everybody makes pastalaya, because everybody screws up the rice. But there's an easy way to do it, which I don't understand why I don't know why people don't understand how to do this, but I've been cooking my whole life, so maybe that's the difference, I don't know. Listen to that, doesn't that sound good? Bubble, bubble, bubble. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Get on up in here. He said, yeah, boy. That is some good looking stuff. This. Oh, yeah. You get the smell of that, man, of that meat cooking, all them seasonings and peppers and onions, that lemon perron. Or as the other folks around here that I hang out with call it, well, I don't hang out with anybody, but people that I know, Lee and Perrins. Excuse me, do you have any of the Lee and Perrins Worcestershire sauce? Well, yes, I do. I do have the Lee and Perron. Lee and Perron. So we're just letting that simmer here, getting all them flavors mixed together, because that's what we do. You alright, buddy? You gonna eat some jambalaya? Do a little checking on this here. Man, that looks good. It smells delicious. Alright, so like I said, I use, whoa, spilling it all over. I just use chicken broth instead of water because it gives it a little bit more flavor. I'm all about the flavor. Flavor. Yeah, not flavor flavors, but. Alright, so. Dump that in. Stir that up, and then we'll be throwing our rice in next. We gotta bring this back to a boil. Get it to a good rolling boil. You gotta make sure you get plenty of liquid in there, because when you put this rice in here, and I'm gonna put probably about 2 pounds of rice in here. Use whatever kind of rice you like. I've got long grain white rice. That's what I like. I like different kinds. I'll make it with different kinds sometimes. I like brown rice sometimes, or whatever. Long grain wild. I'm using long grain white rice tonight because that sounded good. That's why. It's about 2 pounds of rice right there. So whenever this comes back to a rolling boil, now you can see there's plenty of liquid in there now. And we're just gonna let that sit there and get super hot until it gets into a boil. And then we're gonna throw that rice in. And then that comes the secret ninja style. The ninja secret. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Secret ninja secrets. That's where the shit goes down. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. That's where you make or break your jambalaya. That's when we put that rice in there. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. If you're gonna do that, make sure your chicken's cooked well before you do that. Just thought about that to tell people. It's starting to steam. It's coming together good. We're just waiting on it to come back to a rolling boil. Man, this is gonna be good. Oh, this is gonna be so good. I like to make this in big batches like this. And I take it to work every day for lunch. Especially now with the price of everything going up. Like, you can't go to a restaurant and eat for $10 or $12 a day. It's ridiculous. So I've been taking my lunch. Save you some money. I mean, it costs, I think it cost about $40 for all of the stuff to make this big pot of jambalaya. But that'll feed me lunches all week. And supper tonight. So if you figure 5-6 meals, you know, that's quite a bit cheaper than going out to eat every day. And $10 or $12 is being super, like, Yeah, I mean, conservative, super conservative on that. I just saw, I've got a diesel pickup, and I just saw diesel was $4.49 a gallon today. Yeah, that makes you say ouch. I was giving my wife hell for not buying a diesel, but now gas is like $4.10 and diesel's $4.49. Maybe she was the smart one. No. I mean, she's smart. Don't take that the wrong way. She's smart. If you're watching, honey, she's smart. Just, I won't drive a gas pickup. I'm starting to see a few little bubbles in here, so it won't be long, and this will be a nice rolling blow. And we'll throw that rice in there. That's when all that secret ninja shit happens. Hi-yah! Secret ninja shit. Hi-yah! Let's see what's going on here. Aww. A year from now, I'll look back at this video and be like, man, you were an idiot. But that's the way it works. You got to start somewhere, right? Here's where I'm starting. Okay. You can see, starting to get a few little bubbles in there, so it won't be long, and it'll be a nice rolling boil. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Come on, get on with it. I want to see the ninja stuff, dude. Well, you're going to have to wait. Because my ninja shit, my ninja skills don't come out until it's ready. It's damn ready, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You can't rush ninja skills. If you find this entertaining, you need to talk to my wife, because I'm sure she doesn't find me entertaining at all. My wife is freaking awesome. I don't know anybody else that would put up with me and my stupidity and my stupidness and my ninja skills. Although, you look at this sexy body. Hell yeah, it's understandable why she's with me. Stirring and stirring and stirring my brew. Ew, ew. Did you guys sing that song when you were in like grade school? Which was 35 years ago for me, or shit more than that. 40 years ago for me. Oh boy. I just had a birthday the other day, guys, and I turned 45. That was kind of scary, but whatever. A good jambalaya takes a little while to cook, you know what I'm saying? So, So I think what I've been hearing is thunder, and I did not know it was supposed to rain or anything. I gotta go check this out. Yeah, so it's thundering. There's a little bit of rain. And my watch app shows snow. Very, very strange. I didn't know any of that was supposed to be going on. All right, we're getting some bubbles in here now. Stir it up, make sure it's not sticking. That's one thing you guys, you got to make sure you do when you're making this jambalaya. Make sure that stuff is not sticking to the bottom. So this is my first Twitch live video thingamajigger. You know, I really thought I'd just open this up and there'd be like 32 trillion people following me, so I can't believe that's not happening. Because that's the way it works all the time, right? Sure. Alright. Let me fix this. Oh, wow. Okay, so you can see it's starting to boil. We're going to give that just a little bit, probably about another minute. Get that to a good rolling boil, and then we're going to add the rice in. And that's when those slick ass ninja skills come out. Hi-yah! Man, this whole house smells so good right now. You got it. Good job, buddy. Hey, it's me. I'm back. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's check this out. Oh yeah. We're getting that boil going on. I'll give it another stir here real quick. Make sure none of our stuff's sticking to the bottom, because that'll ruin your whole meal right there. That smells good. Wish you guys could smell that. Here, let me waft it to you. It's kind of like a fart, but it's not that it smells like that, but that's what I do it, you know. Anyway. Probably not the best thing to be talking about while I'm cooking, right? Well, it's me. So, grade school humor? Yeah, it's me. Okay, so we're taking a rice. Got about 2 pounds. It's long grain white rice. Let me show you. God dang, guys, you're being all picky and stuff. Let me show you this again. See that? Okay, that's about what you want. You got a good boil going on there. Get this camera set back up. Hey-yo. Okay, take this rice. Oh man, all over the place, all over the stove. It's all right. So now you really want to keep stirring this shit, because this is when slick ninja skills are coming out. I'm going to reveal it to you. So you got to keep stirring this, because you don't want your rice to stick to the bottom of the pan, because then you're screwed at that point. And then you just wasted $40. You just wasted a whole meal. You just wasted however long I've been on here talking to nobody. And I'm damn hungry and I want to eat this damn jambalaya. when it's all done. So we'll stir this. We'll just keep stirring it, making sure, give it a little time. Now, we let this rice cook, okay? So we're letting it cook, it's all stirred up, we get it in there. And what's gonna happen is, as this rice cooks, it's gonna start to float, and it's all gonna come up to the top. You wanna stir it every once in a while. When that rice starts to float, and it comes all to the top, it's floating. You know what floating means? Yeah, it means it comes to the top, okay? When it's all floating, like on a waterbed. Did you guys used to have a waterbed like back in the 80s? Or am I showing my age? Whatever, you know, you'd lay down and you're like, oh yeah, I'm floating, I'm floating. Well, anyhow, it's nothing like that. So when that rice starts to float, oh, I gotta start, it's getting thick on me. So when that rice starts to float and it all comes to the top, that is when those slick ass ninja skills come out. At that point, and I'll show you what I mean by that rice floating. At that point, we're gonna kill this fire down to low. We're gonna slap a lid on it, and we're just gonna leave that lid on there for like a half hour. We're not gonna take it off, we're not gonna look at it, we're not gonna peek, we're not gonna take a little finger snip, bit, bite, whatever the hell I'm trying to say. Yeah, nothing. We're gonna leave that lid on for a half hour, and we're not gonna touch it. So then that means you get to hang out with me for a half hour doing abso-freaking-lutely nothing. Yeah. And then when we come back and we take that lid off, it's gonna be beautiful. And we're gonna fluff it. I'll show you what I mean by fluffing it. That kind of looked maybe a little odd. Stir it, Toby, stir it. So I'm gonna make sure we're stirring this, that our rice doesn't all get all a big old blob. Because if it gets blood in a big old blob, then it ain't no good. Everybody screws up the rice in a damn jambalaya. That's the main part of a jambalaya. How many people is this going to feed? One. Me. This big old pot would probably feed, I don't know, 10 people, 15 maybe, I don't know. I don't really care. It's gonna feed me, that's all, for a week. But here's the thing. I don't eat like a normal person eats. Like, I eat a lot. A lot. So this would probably last a normal person like 2 weeks lunches for work. It'll last me a week. Maybe. Maybe. Depends on how much I eat tonight. Man, it smells good. It looks good. The rice is still heavy. It's not floating yet. Oh, excuse me. Fart jokes, burp jokes, that's all allowed on here. So look, let me, while we're stirring this, and we're gonna have like a half hour to kill with each other, so you'll kind of learn a little bit about me, but let me tell you a little bit about myself and my past. I was a radio DJ, I had my own radio show for a while. That was back early 2000s, 2003, 2004, somewhere in there was when I started doing it, I think. Don't quote me on that because, shit, I don't know. But that was fun. And ever since I quit, man, I've missed radio so much. And then here in the last like year or two, I've decided, man, all this new technology, it's almost like radio, but you know, you got to see my ugly face and stuff, but I can kind of get back into it, like with YouTube and with Twitch and with all the whatever, all the buzz. social medias and all that. And I can do it from home. I don't have to work for somebody else. I can make money doing it. Okay, well, this is starting to look a little better. I don't have to have all the fancy equipment that I used to have. I used to have a home studio too. Back after I got out of terrestrial radio, I had a whole home studio, and that was kind of at the brink, whatever word that is, of internet radio when that kind of all came about, and it was pretty cool. I did my own thing there too for a while, and but yeah, this is gonna maybe give me a chance to get back into that. Because I miss it. As you can tell, I like to blah, 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 run my mouth. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. I'm going to say, man, maybe another minute or two. Let me show you. Okay, here we go. Here's some slick-ass ninja skills that I was talking about. Oh! You see how that rice is starting to float? It's starting to. I'll show you when it gets all up in there, up in my business. But you gotta make sure you keep stirring because it's gonna get thick on you. That rice is starting to come to the top. Let me show you. Wow, real quick. Wow, wow. Can you see that? Probably not. But yeah, so that rice is starting to come to the top. I'm going to give it another quick stir. Okay. Yeah, so now I'm going to kill the fire down to low. All the way down. Low as it'll go. How low can you go? Can you go down low? All the way to the flow. So, this is called a lid. So what we're going to do, we got her on as low as it'll go. And we're going to let her go for 30 minutes. I'm going to set me a little timer. 30 minutes. Whoop, does a little circle thing. Oh, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. 30 minutes. Look at that. Haha. So 30 minutes from now, we're not going to open that lid. We're not going to do anything. And actually, what I'm going to do here, because this fire is bigger than this fire, and I don't want that much fire. Can I handle this? After years of barbecue and stuff like that, you kind of lose the feelings in your hands and the nerves and all that, and the hot stuff doesn't bother you so much, so don't do that kind of crap. So I got that one on as low as it'll go. Okay, can you see? No, probably not. Well, this is going to look really good on video, isn't it? So I got it down as low as it'll go. I guess I could have just told you that, which I did, but how low can you go? So 30 minutes. You don't open that lid. Let me see if I can tilt this up a little bit so we can talk. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I just dropped it. Man, this is impressive. Hi, y'all.